Welcome back. First, we've got Mark finally experiencing reintegration, but outside of Lumon.
Yeah, it's triggered by his interaction with Ragabi.
Right.
Talking with her, seeing Gemma's belongings, all that seems to create a powerful subconscious link between Mark's innie and outie, especially when it comes to Gemma.
It's like his innie is reaching out.
In a way, yeah. The vision is surreal with Mark suddenly inside Lumon.
And he encounters Miss Casey.
She's just reciting her wellness director lines.
It's like a sliver of Miss Casey's innie persona is breaking through, even outside the severance procedure.
Could be.
And the episode ends with Miss Casey's chilling line, "Your outie is going to kill."
Really? It raises the stakes.
It does. Is Mark's outie a danger to himself or others? Is it misdirection? This show is certainly exploring the darker side of Lumon and the consequences of severance.
For sure. And the episode also gives us insight into Milchick's performance review.
And it isn't positive.
No, not at all. His humane approach to the severed workers, that was his own initiative, not Lumon policy.
So he was going rogue.
Kind of. And it failed to improve productivity. So now he is being forced to be stricter with the employees.
Moving toward a more ruthless management style.
Definitely.
So Lumon prioritizes control and results over employee well-being.
Sadly, it seems that way.
What does this mean for Mark, Helly, and Dylan? We also get some major hints about Irving's history with Lumon in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's confirmed that he's been with the company longer than his innie realizes.
Right.
His familiarity with the exports hall suggests prior experience.
It does. This could be as a severed worker in another department or even an unsevered employee.
Interesting.
Combined with the hints about his military background, it seems Irving may be working with someone on the outside to expose Lumon's secrets. Irving understands Lumon and its inner workings on a deeper level than he reveals. He's playing a long game.
His game could be coming to a head soon, thanks to Dylan's discovery.
Oh, you mean the map?
Yeah, the map hidden behind that Heang in their poster in the break room.
Classic.
It reveals the layout of their floor and gives directions to the exports hall, which we know leads to the testing floor where Gemma is likely being kept.
It's a huge discovery.
It puts Dylan in a difficult position.
Definitely. He's driven by a desire to avenge Irving's firing and expose Lumon, but he also wants to see his outie's family.
He's got a lot on his plate.
He does. He's torn between rebelling and complying. Will he risk everything to help his friends and uncover the truth? Or will he prioritize his own personal desires?
It's a classic struggle between personal ambition and the greater good.
For sure.
We see Mark struggling with his own purpose in this episode. He feels lost and betrayed after discovering Helly's true identity.
As Helena Egan.
Right, Helena Egan. His feelings for Helly were real. They fueled his search for Gemma. Now that he knows Helly was planted there, that motivation's gone.
Coof.
That's like, what was the point?
I mean, Mark is clinging to the hope of reuniting his outie with his wife, but now questions the point of it all. This leads him to seemingly accept his fate as a severed worker and focus solely on his MDR work.
It's heartbreaking.
It is, but I don't think Mark's outie will let him stay complacent for long. That reintegration vision is a sign that something is brewing.
I agree. There's a growing tension between Mark's innie and outie, which is sure to lead to confrontations and revelations. We also need to circle back to Miss Heang and the man in the exports hall.
Two big mysteries.
They are. Miss Heang's unwavering loyalty to Lumon and her robotic demeanor continue to raise suspicions.
She actively discourages Milchick from letting the MDR team have a funeral for Irving.
Really?
Yeah. Says it would make them feel too human. It's like she's trying to suppress any sense of humanity or connection. Her behavior is strikingly similar to Miss Casey's, which leads to some unsettling questions.
Could Miss Heang be another revived individual, someone brought back by Lumon?
It's certainly a possibility, especially when you consider that both Mrs. Casey and Miss Heang are always addressed with the title Miss. It suggests a deliberate choice to obscure their pasts and their identities beyond Lumon.
And we have that man in the exports hall whistling the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Another big question mark.
There's a possible connection to Bert's outie.
Who mentioned canceling a trip to Milwaukee?
Exactly. The Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior, and its final voyage originated in Wisconsin, where Milwaukee is located.
Right.
Could this man be Bert's husband? And what's he transporting to the testing floor? We don't have all the answers yet, but the show wants us to pay attention to seemingly insignificant details. It encourages viewers to look for connections.
They want us to work for it.
They do. As we piece these clues together, we get closer to understanding Lumon's true motives and the devastating consequences of severance. Let's shift gears and talk about one of the most unsettling revelations in this episode, Lumon's potential revival technology.
It's a doozy.
It's a disturbing concept.
Yeah.
If Lumen can bring people back from the dead, what does that mean for the concept of death itself? If Miss Casey and potentially Mrs. Huang are products of this technology, what does it say about their existence? Do they have souls? Free will? These are profound questions with no easy answers.
It's really pushing the boundaries.
It is. Lumen is operating in a morally ambiguous area, pushing the boundaries of science and humanity. The show highlights their lack of transparency.
Transparency, what's that?
Right. They thrive on secrecy and manipulation, keeping their employees in the dark. This is apparent in the way they handle performance reviews, rewards, punishments, and even the flow of information.
It's all very calculated.
It's like the employees are merely pawns in Lumen's twisted game. We have to talk about the Eagans, too.
The Eagans.
This episode shows the rigid control and expectations they place on anyone associated with their legacy. Drummond's conversation with Helena about taming the Four Tempers is chilling.
It really is. It speaks volumes about the indoctrination and pressure that comes with being an Eagan.
These four tempers, woe, frolic, dread, and malice, are emotions that must be controlled and subdued. This is in direct contrast to the genuine emotions we see from the MBR team. They experience grief, joy, fear, and anger, the full spectrum of human feeling. Despite Lumen's attempts to sever and suppress those emotions, they keep surfacing.
It's kind of beautiful.
It gives us hope that they'll ultimately break free. Their journey won't be easy. They're up against a powerful entity. Speaking of power, that cliffhanger ending with Miss Casey's warning, your outie is going to kill. It has me very worried about Mark.
It's definitely ominous. Is Mark's outie in danger? Is he planning something? Or is this just another manipulation by Lumen? We'll have to wait until next week's episode to find out, but I have a feeling things are going to get even more intense.
I agree. This show really makes you think about the line between our work and personal lives. How much do we sacrifice for our jobs?
It's a relevant question, especially now. Severance takes that idea to the extreme, but it does reflect our anxieties about work-life balance and the demands of today's work culture. It also makes you think about the psychological impact of separating those parts of ourselves.
Like the MDR team. Their memories are fragmented, their identities are split, and they are constantly disoriented. It's a reminder that our memories make us who we are. To sever them is to fundamentally change our sense of self.
And Lumen is exploiting that vulnerability. They're using severance as a tool for control and profit, which brings us back to the big question, what's Lumen's endgame? What are they really trying to achieve?
It's a mystery, but the pieces are coming together. They are obsessed with Keir Egan's legacy and taming the Four Tempers. They're experimenting with revival technology, blurring the lines between life and death.
And they operate with alarming secrecy and manipulation.
It's safe to say that their goals are far more complex than simply improving workplace productivity. They're playing a dangerous game, and the consequences could be devastating.
Absolutely.
It's terrifying and fascinating all at the same time.
It really is.
We are left wondering what it all means. We are captivated by this show and trying to decipher the clues and unravel the mysteries of Severance.
And it rewards that, right? Close attention, thoughtful analysis. I mean, Severance is more than just entertainment.
Oh, for sure.
I think it reflects our own anxieties about work, identity, the power dynamics of modern life. It stays with you.
It does.
Long after the credits roll.
If you haven't started watching Severance, I mean, you're missing out. It's truly thought-provoking.
And captivating.
It's available on Prime Video, and you can sign up for a 30-day free trial using the link in the description below. Let us know your thoughts on the ending of this episode and the series as a whole in the comments. We'd love to hear your interpretations, your theories, your questions. Until next time, keep questioning everything. And remember, the truth, like our memories, is a precious and powerful thing.